Politicians may not be everyone's favorite people, but they're still human and feel all the emotions we do. Congressman Sean Casten was recently hit by a devastating personal tragedy of his daughter's passing that brought U.S. politics together and gave them a chance to show their empathetic side. Let's talk more about the tragedy in this video. First up, Gwen Casten dies at 17. A little over a month after graduating from high school, Gwen Casten, the 17-year-old daughter of Illinois Congressman Sean Casten, passed away earlier this week. The news of her sudden passing came as a huge shock for the U.S. politicians and citizens who are mourning the loss of a young life along with the Casten family. The congressman's office confirmed on Twitter on June 13th, saying that Gwen, 17, Congressman Casten's beloved daughter, passed away, and that the Casten family requests privacy and the office won't be issuing any further comments during the heartbreaking time. There weren't any details shared by the family, friends, and relatives or the office, including the cause of her death. Gwen was a very promising young girl who had graduated from Downers Grove North High School in May and was planning to attend University of Vermont in the fall to study environmental science. She was also pretty active on her Instagram page, where she shared all these details about her future plans. Following the tragedy of her death, her high school's empowerment club, which she founded and led, shared that she was cherished by all, and they're just as surprised and upset at the terrible news. The club came forward to say that there aren't any words that can begin to describe the loss everyone at the club is feeling. Gwen was very loved, and her incredible impact will live forever within their community. They ended their message by thanking Gwen for everything she had done to influence the lives around her and filling them with love and positivity. She was a force to be reckoned with and will be greatly missed. A loss of such a young life that hadn't even properly started jolted the entire nation as they rallied behind the congressman with their kind words and support. Words of support also poured in for the Casten family from fellow lawmakers, including Illinois Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton, also tweeted, "I am so very sorry, sending you love and light." Next, the supportive daughter and the future leader. Gwen, earlier this year, appeared in a campaign video supporting her father's bid for a third term in Congress, where he represents Illinois' 6th congressional district as a Democrat. In this clip, Gwen spoke about turning 18 and how 2022 would be a big year for her, filled with lots of milestones like voting for the first time. Watching that clip again brings emotions to the surface when we see what an optimistic girl she was, looking forward to living her life and becoming a wonderful citizen of the country. She also championed her father's efforts to protect abortion access, leading the charge in ethics reform and enacting new gun laws. Not only was she an extremely remarkable student and a loving daughter, she was also an advocate for bodily autonomy and safety. This is truly a huge loss for everyone. It turns out, Gwen was also passionate about music and played the trumpet and participated in her school's production of Mary Poppins. Not only that, but she was also an activist. Inspired by the students' efforts in the wake of the Parkland High School shooting, she created the Empowerment Club at her high school, which focused on everything from gun violence prevention to environmental protection to LGBTQ allyship to organizing Black Lives Matter rallies to registering students to vote. We don't doubt that had she followed her father's footsteps, she'd have been an incredible politician and a woman. And now, a peaceful passing. 2 days after the tragic loss of his 17-year-old daughter Gwen, Illinois Congressman Sean Casten paid tribute to his oldest in a family statement, which detailed the final moments of her life and talks about the last time he saw his daughter alive. The politician shared a statement on Twitter, which he also signed from his wife Kara and 15-year-old daughter Audrey, describing how Gwen enjoyed a family dinner on the evening June 12 before heading out with some friends. Sean said that when she got home, she said goodnight to his wife and him and texted a friend to make sure she got home safe and didn't wake up on Monday morning. He continued on to say that they don't know much about her death, but the only thing they do know is that her death was peaceful. Now for the proud father. In his tribute, the mourning father also reflected on the numerous accomplishments and diverse passions of his daughter by saying that there are no words to describe the hole in the heart where a child dies. He further said that Gwen was a happy, healthy, well-adjusted young woman who was looking forward to starting her freshman year at the University of Vermont. Casten was proud of his wonderful daughter and said that she had the good fortune to have a community of good friends, teachers, and family, and the good wisdom to realize how much she owed them. Her light was a bit life brighter than most because she was very generous in reflecting back the light and love that so many people around her had given her. Not much has been said about the death, but the DuPage County coroner in Illinois told E! News that her mysterious and sudden passing is under investigation. The Casten grief is immeasurable and unimaginable. The lesson we can all take from this tragedy is to hold our loved ones tight and let them know that they're supported and loved. Next, in other related news, UK minister warns US politicians to mind their language over Northern Ireland. Things are heating up between the USA and UK over Downing Street's decision to rewrite the Northern Ireland Protocol. Conor Burns, a Northern Ireland minister and close ally of Boris Johnson, revealed some US politicians risked allowing violent elements within the province in their public statements over the protocol. This decision has now caused anger in Dublin and Brussels and created a rift between London and Washington, where senior Democrats and Republicans criticized the UK government. Many Congress members then issued statements warning about the consequences of ripping up the Northern Ireland Protocol while saying that Boris is putting peace at risk. And now, Biden's shut-up call. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin and Secretary of State Antony Blinken took off on separate flights from southeastern Poland after their risky, high-stakes visit to Kiev when they were conferenced into a phone call from President Joe Biden. Why? Because the two very publicly said that the administration wanted the Ukrainians to win the war against Russia, not just defend themselves. They also said that the US hoped to weaken Russia to the extent that it could not launch another unprovoked invasion. Of course, those remarks couldn't have ended well, and they didn't. Biden thought the secretaries had gone too far. According to multiple administration officials familiar with the call, Biden expressed concern that the comments could set unrealistic expectations and increase the risk of the US getting into a direct conflict with Russia. The official said that he wasn't happy when Blinken and Austin talked about winning in Ukraine and the rhetoric it painted. He also told them to tone it down. If the president of a country directly tells you to tone it down, you've massively messed up. The secretaries explained that Austin's comments had been misconstrued, but the annoyance Biden initially conveyed during that phone call reflected his administration's belief that despite Ukrainian forces' unexpected successes early on, the war ultimately headed in the direction it is now in, with Russia making small and steady advances. And such claims by the two of them wasn't what Biden had in his mind. Finally, the Georgia Senate nominee Herschel Walker admits to having two more secret children. Herschel Walker, the Republican nominee from Georgia for the U.S. Senate, has recently confirmed that he has two more previously unknown children. He'd initially said that he had another secret child too, and now he has a total of 4 kids, out of only one was previously known. It's a bigger deal than other secret children news because he's repeatedly been critical of absent African American fathers, and now was forced to admit he had children out of wedlock after the media sniffed his children out. Until earlier this week, Walker, who is heavily backed by the former President Donald Trump to unseat Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock, had only ever mentioned his 22-year-old Christian Walker, and now, suddenly out of nowhere, we get 3 more children. He admitted that he had a secret 10-year-old son that he hasn't played an active role in raising. We wouldn't be talking too much about this news had it not been for the sheer hypocrisy of the man who'd criticize other men for not being there for his children while he'd been doing that himself. That's a wrap for this video. If you have any questions related to Gwen Casten's death and other political news that we've given you today, let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.